What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a fantastic Thursday afternoon. I'm here with the main man, Brandon Meriweather. Brandon, how's your week been so far?
My week been great, man. It's been amazing. How you been?
Man, I've been really busy. Work has been crazy. I'm just glad tomorrow's Friday and this is it's Thursday afternoon. I guess it's hump day, right? You're right there. You got to get over that hump.
You call it hump day?
I just hear in the radio stations they call it hump day. Happy hump day. So.
Hey, I understand that. I understand why you would call it hump day, though. I do. I get that.
So, Brandon, man, let's get into it. The Miami Hurricanes lose to the Virginia Cavaliers. It's, I don't know. For me, I think it's a new low, for the Miami Hurricanes football program. Were you able to watch the game? I know you were tweeting it out a while. I don't know if you saw the whole game. So, kind of what were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts was just bad coaching, man. It's just terrible coaching. Like we doing things like I have never seen a coach do. Like it's just terrible. Like I have never seen anything like this.
Yeah. What do you think it is? The missed tackling? Is it play calling defensively or offensively? Where should we pinpoint it?
I think I think it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Like you can't just pin it on one thing, because one thing ain't losing you a game.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like granted, missed tackles will lose you a game, but if you correct, missed tackling, then it's the poor ball management. You know what I mean? It's the, lack of, aggressiveness on offense. You know what I mean? It's just a lot going on, man. And honestly, man, I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Were you surprised Manny Diaz was still the head coach after this week? Because honestly, I thought this was a fireable loss. You're 2-3. You came into the season with a lot higher expectations. He looks like a dead man walking. It's like torture at this point.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I think he would be the head coach for the rest of the season.
For the rest, even if they lose to North Carolina and NC State,
man, they could lose every game from here on out, and he will still be the coach to the end of the year.
How does the alumni feel about this? Do you guys, speak together? Because Colin McCarthy said fire Manny Diaz right now. You were pretty upset on Twitter.
The thing is, it's like a split.
Right.
It's a lot of people saying, hey man, we need to get rid of him now. But it's also a lot of people saying, hey man, just wait, trust the process, just wait, give it time. So it's kind of a split decision right now.
Interesting. I don't know if Miami Hurricanes fans can wait any longer.
I can't either. I'm with them. I'm with them. I really can't. Like I can't wait no more. Like I'm done with the waiting. Like I want to see results now.
Absolutely. I mean, I think honestly, if he loses to North Carolina, it's a done deal. There's no point of having him any longer. Matt Brown's going to fire him twice.
So the problem is they already tried to fire him, and his dad stepped in.
Interesting. When was this? This year? Or?
Yeah, this year.
Okay.
And his dad stepped in and told him, no, not yet. Y'all got to give him some time. He could turn this around, and they did it. So if they did it once, and they asking his dad for permission, then like some got to give. So I don't see them changing that anytime soon.
Is his father now? Is he a part of the board of trustees? Does he have a big voice? How does
his dad is the mayor?
It was the former. I know that part. He's the former mayor of Miami, but how does that intertwine with the University of Miami and like his connections? Who does he know there? You think?
I think he's on the board. No, I'm just telling you what I think. I'm not saying he is. I think he's on the board.
Okay.
I just realized that was just getting sunny, and I just realized that I like Billy O to the U too. I like that a lot.
So I know a couple shows ago we talked about head coaches. You mentioned Ken Dorsey would love to take this job. You're a big Bill O'Brien fan. Do you think Mario Cristobal would ever come back to the University of Miami?
Yeah, I think he will. But only if he get fired from Oregon. He'll be a fool to leave Oregon right now.
He's
Like he'll
getting
be a
paid a lot
fool.
of money.
Right. Like, what are you leaving for? Like, what are you coming to Miami for?
Maybe the way I see it, it's home. It's his alma mater. He's maybe closer to family. His brother lives here. I don't know if his parents are still alive, but
The money he making, he could get all them where he at. Like literally, he could buy all them a house wherever he at. He's not coming. You know what I mean? He's not coming. Even when his contract up, they're gonna renew it, and he gonna be there because he's turning that program, around. They look aggressive. They have a lot of hiccups too, but they look a lot better than what we did.
who are some coaches that Miami should reach out to? I fully expect Manny Diaz is going to get fired. They're going to lose to North Carolina. He's not going to finish out the season. Let's say Manny Diaz is done. Brandon, who do you think are some coaches Miami realistically can contact and go after if Mario, the Lane Kiffins are completely out of the picture?
I think I think you got to go after young hot guys.
Okay.
I think you go after Billy O'Brien for one. Then I think Billy O'Brien in college. You know what I mean? That's the one college coach I like a lot. And a name that keep coming to my head is the offensive coordinator of the Bucks. What's his name? He was the quarterback for the Jaguars.
Leftwich.
Yeah, Brian
Left.
Leftwich. Him, Ken Dorsey. Um, uh, it's a couple people out there, man, that I think could do a great job. Butch, you know what I mean?
He's retiring.
Yeah, because he getting tired of losing.
Do you know that FIU lost every single game after they beat Miami?
Yeah, I
Can you
did know
believe
that.
it?
Yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that. No, I'm serious. He retiring because he tired of losing.
It's very difficult to win at FIU. Extremely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, Brandon, during your experience, because Bill O'Brien, when you were with the Patriots, correct me if I'm wrong, he was the offensive coordinator, right?
Correct.
How was he as a coach, as an offensive coordinator? Because you saw between the lines. You were there live in action. You were a part of the team. I'm just a fan. So I go off of just his resume, really, and what I see on TV. But you were there live. What can you tell us about Bill O'Brien?
Billy he's a fiery coach. He's a put my foot down coach. You know what I mean? He's a player's guy. Like the players would love him. The players would love him. You don't get me wrong. He gonna rub some people the wrong way just because of how his personality, but the players would love him, and he would definitely make the program better.
I'm very curious, who they'd target. I think Bill O'Brien, would be a great candidate. I think he's what we need at Miami. I think we need structure, stability, and win some football games. At least 9 to 10 wins a season. I think that's reachable with the talent we have at Miami, with the area as well in recruiting. We should be winning every single year.
Right, but winning 10 games a year ain't necessarily considered winning for Miami.
Correct.
If you win 10 games a year for 5 years in a row, the fans gonna be asking to fire you. You know what I mean? Like, just being honest. Like, you can win 10 games a year and everybody will be saying fire him.
I think there has to be 1 year, Brandon, where at least we win the national title.
Absolutely. At least, see, this is the thing. If we actually made it to the playoffs, then a 10-win season would be fine. Long as we get into the playoffs, and eventually, just like Georgia win 10 games every year, but they always lose in the playoff, or they always lose in the SEC championship game. If we had that, the coach would be fine. Because we always in the mix. That's where the problem comes in at, is when we're never in the mix. Like, we was in the mix one time in the last, 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think 2017 we went 10-3. 2020 we went 8-3. I can't really recall. Maybe under Shannon we had 9 wins. Golden 9 wins.
No,
not a lot.
We had 9 wins with Golden.
I think one year we went 9-3.
You sure?
Hey, how did you? I mean, did you like Golden at all? Besides the defensive coordinator, which I think was the big issue, did you like him at all?
No, I ain't like Golden from the moment we hired him.
Okay.
Like I just don't understand why are we getting these guys from Temple. Like, what has Temple done?
Nothing.
My point. So why we keep getting their head coaches?
You know what's interesting, Brandon? On Temple's coaching staff, Al Golden, he had Matt Rule as his offensive coordinator and Ryan Day as the quarterback's coach. We might have picked the wrong guy.
We absolutely picked the wrong guy. That ain't even a question. We absolutely picked the wrong guy. What made them get Al Golden then?
Ask Donna Shalala, whatever her name is.
It wasn't Shalala. It was the AD. The AD do the hiring of that.
Hoka.
Yeah, Shalala, she hired the AD, so it wasn't Shalala on that one. Like, I like to blame a lot of stuff on Shalala, but not that one. We can't get her that one.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. Going to commercial break.
To compete also in matters of life.
How you doing, buddy?
You don't share all my wording.
Well, you might be in trouble today.
Tom today is the best quarterback ever. But the Tom, his rookie year, wouldn't be the Tom today without him. So I would say you can't have fun without him. It killed my career. Like, I hate to say it like that, but that is actually what killed my career. It changed everything for me. Like, I couldn't, like, the way I was taught was, if the head died, the body died with it.
Brandon Meriweather, Miami Hurricanes legend, 2-time NFL Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, and member of the only undefeated 2007 Patriots that went 18-0, historic NFL regular season record. Book Brandon Meriweather and other celebrity speakers at worldsportsalumni@gmail.com. That's worldsportsalumni@gmail.com, or you can reach them at 702-941-4812 at worldsportsalumni.com, the world's largest pro athlete association. All right, and we are back. Brandon, we got a special guest on the show?
Yeah, say hey. You gonna say hey? What's up, man? This is my homie, little BJ. This is BJ. This the next hard hitter at Miami.
I, I gotta love it, man. We already got to commit. Brandon Meriweather, you should be on staff. Bring in little BJ, and we'll be the #1 recruiting class in the nation. You
I
gotta love it.
absolutely would. If I was on staff, I absolutely would be bringing BJ on.
Has that ever been a thought between you guys, Brandon? Like, listen, let's get Brandon Meriweather. Let's get Ed Reed. We'll get Warren Sapp to teach the D line. O line will be Brett Romberg. Shockey tight ends go. Has that ever? I mean, all you guys just coming back?
No, no, man. People doing so much with their life now, and it's kind of hard to just say, everybody, let's just come back and, everybody, take a group and we're gonna all be together. You know what I mean? For one, we got too many egos. You know what I mean? You got, Sapp who will be D line coach, but he'll be want to be the D coordinator. You know what I mean? We'll be arguing all the time about everything. Like, it always got to be one chief, one Indian. I mean, it always got to be one chief and a bunch of Indians.
Right.
And if all of us was together, it wouldn't be no Indians. It'd be all chiefs trying to give all the, all the advice.
Have you ever wanted to get back into coaching at all?
Yeah, I did, man. I did. But it's hard. It's hard for me to actually drop everything and just go back to doing that. I wanted to get back and I wanted to start doing all the, little things with the kids, but I just couldn't. You know what I mean? I couldn't get away from my son, my daughter. You know what I mean? But now that my daughter is older, and now that my son is a little older, I kind of could take him with me everywhere I go, so it'll be easier now than it was then.
Right. No, absolutely. Hey, well, look, new coaching staff, we'll promote the hell out of you. People on bookings, we'll get you hired to get on staff.
Tell them to give me a check. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm telling you, give me a check. I will be there tomorrow.
Man, if you can coach linebackers, I'll take it, man. Because this guy,
man, I coach the linebacker, the safeties, the corners, the O line, whatever they need me to do. Hey, man, I go get the water if they're gonna give me the right check and just give advice on the side.
So, Brandon, I don't know if you heard, but this week in practice, there was a fight. Like, it got ugly. Players were going after each other. They went after a defensive assistant as well. Has that ever happened in your playing days at Miami?
Hell no. Man, you crazy. You got to respect somebody. So hold on. So who was fighting? Was it offense against defense, or was it defense against defense? How was it?
It was offense versus defense. To my understanding, it was a veteran defensive tackle, veteran safety, and a starting wide receiver with a starting offensive lineman, and they went at it, and there was a defensive assistant involved as well.
What did the defensive assistant do?
I don't know. It was.
Did he get fired?
No, I'm not sure. I know there were tweets out by coaches. I'm just trying to connect the dots, but I'm not really sure what happened. But I know one player went after the defensive assistant.
So hold on. So ain't nobody suspended. Ain't nobody fired. Ain't none of this going on.
To my knowledge, no. To my knowledge, no.
Oh yeah, Manny fired. Get him out of here. I'm telling you, get him out of here now, bruh. Get him out of here now. It's over. It's over. Yo, I ain't never listen. Don't get me wrong. Like, I done been in some, in the NFL where you do two different teams practicing against each other in camp, and we get in a big fight, and a coach or something might try to break it up and get hit. Now, I done been around that. But I have never been around where, teammates fighting each other so much and then they go after a coach. I have never been a part of that. Like, that's the ultimate disrespect.
Manny's lost control of this program. It's embarrassing. And you know what? It takes College Game Day to make a national outcry that Miami doesn't care about its football program, for the AD, for the president to make a statement. Brandon, have you ever seen a Miami Hurricanes football program this kind of...
No.
Yeah, exactly. This
you know what this feel like? It feel like when we was on probation. That's That's what it feel like. It feel like we got a team on probation that, we only get 15 scholarships a year, and we barely could fill the roster, and so we playing with walk-ons and stuff. That's what it feel like. Like, it feel like we got a bunch of players that shouldn't be playing, but in all reality, we got all the talent in the world. We just ain't got people to put the talent together.
So recruiting's not the issue. It's just development and coaching.
Correct. Correct. Like, so you follow Warren Sapp on IG?
Here and there. I'm not that.
Well,
watching
Sapp every week, Sapp take about 5 different players and 5 different plays and breaks it down.
Okay.
He breaks it down and tell you why this player did this and why this play didn't happen good and why this happened and why that happened. That's like, we don't have enough of that at Miami. Like, if we had that at Miami, then it would be so much better. Like, we need that. Like, they honestly need to call Sapp and say, hey, I want to give you the same kind of role we gave Ed if you don't want to be a coach.
Right.
Like, if you still want to travel and go fishing whenever you want, I want to do the same thing with you that I do with Ed. So when you come in, we could go through the techniques, we could go through the fundamentals, we could go through all this, and you break it down every week. We'll send you the tape, and you break it down and tell me what we should have did different. That's what they needed.
I don't see any coaching on the sidelines after a drive.
Man, you ain't got a defensive playbook. How you coaching? Like, for real, like, the reason you have a defensive playbook is because you have rules to defenses. So if it's cover 3, if I got the curl, it says in the playbook, you have curl. If motion comes, this happens. Or you play it, depending on the situation. The rules is set in the playbook. So now, if it's none of that, and they motion or they move or something, and I say, man, I'm gonna stay here. Like, it's nothing in the rule. It's nothing they could go back and say, oh, look, you did this wrong, man. When this motion happened, you're supposed to did this. You didn't get in your playbook. Like, how you do that?
Right.
Like, what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna say, man, what playbook? I ain't never seen that. Like, no, when he motioned, I thought we were still playing it. Like, play it. So now you got 2 people doing 2 different things, and that's how you get people running down the middle of the field wide open. Like, so you have no rules. So what are you studying?
Interesting.
Like, what we doing with no playbook is putting our players at a disadvantage at the next level. Because now you don't know how to study. You don't know what to study. You don't know what to look for. You don't know how to, separate yourself from other players and other positions. So now you going there. Now you getting this 400-page playbook that breaks down every detail and tell you if every motion and every this. And now you trying to learn all this and not knowing how to do it. So now we 5 steps behind on everybody. Now we got to catch up.
Brandon, do you watch other college football games, other defenses in college football?
Absolutely.
Who are some defenses you like a lot from other programs?
Georgia.
Wow.
I love Georgia defense.
What do they do that, why do you like them so much? What kind of scheme do they run? What makes
they run a aggressive 4-3 defense. They run the same defense I ran in college.
Okay, with Shannon.
The exact same defense. They run a quarter, quarter, half. That's what their defense consists of. And on that backside, on that half side, it's a mix up of things. It's a mix up of different coverages. Like, you can run man, you can run a cover 2, you can run a quarters. Like, it's a bunch of different things. And you can also run cover 3 out of that same look, and you'll never know the difference. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I like that defense.
And Miami's running, I know you talked about it previously, they're running a 4-2-5. but you
Yeah.
don't really think it's a 4-2-5, really.
No, it's a nickel defense with a striker, a bigger safety as the striker. That's all they doing is running a nickel defense, and that's why everybody just run the ball on us. Like, and listen, I hate to say this with all my heart. I hate to say this, but our defense is set up to lose to Florida State.
Really? You think we were going to lose to Florida State?
I think our defense is set up to. If our offense don't come out and score points, we lost.
Very
Like
true.
if we do what we did against Virginia, we lose to Florida State by 10.
Wow.
Because it's one thing Florida State do great, and they do a lot of it. They run the ball.
Right.
If you see them against any team they ever played, they run the ball good on everybody.
Very true.
So that's one thing that you can't take away from them. They run the ball good. And we do one thing bad, tackling and let people run on us. So mark my words right here, fellas. If we don't get it together, we back to the L in the state. We're gonna be the worst team in the state of Florida.
Worst team in the state of Florida. Manny Diaz in year 3. That's it. He's got to go. If we lose to Florida State, if FAU's better than us,
Bro, we will be the worst team in the state of Florida this year.
okay.
Like right now, if I ask you a question right now, if I said name one team you would bet on Miami against that's in the state of Florida, who would you pick?
Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman.
I wouldn't bet with Miami, not and give a spread. Not
Maybe
with the
USF.
spread.
Maybe USF.
Man, with the spread.
FIU, maybe.
No, I don't. No. I'm telling you, you know it though. Like we literally like UCF. And when I say the worst team in the state, I'm not talking about, you know, the D2 schools like FAM, Florida State. I mean FAM and BCC.
Right.
And you know, I'm not talking about them schools. I'm talking about the big schools.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I think we're hanging with the FAU and FIUs right now.
Exactly. And the crazy part is we got draft picks. We got people who actually gonna get drafted. Like a bunch of them. We got a bunch of kids that will get drafted.
Do you think we should start Cam Kitchens and James Williams, which are both freshmen, over Bolden or Gervin Hall right now?
No.
Keep
I think we should start Williams. I think it should be Williams and Bolden.
Okay.
Like that's what I think. I think Williams and Bolden should start, and I think the other freshmen should get a lot of playing time. But Hall, hey, listen, bro, you know, I seen enough. Like at what point do you start saying, hey, man, we got to start preparing for the future?
We're gonna take a commercial break real quick. We got a good question. I'm gonna ask Brandon coming up right next, guys. We'll catch you guys in a bit. Wings, wings, wings. The best chicken wings outside of the Orlando area off of 452 North Park Avenue, owned by Miami Hurricanes football legend himself, Brandon Meriweather. If you love chicken wings, you're going to love Wings, 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 owned by the man himself, NFL veteran, Brandon Meriweather. Got to check it out. Once again, Wings, Wings, Wings off of 452 North Park Avenue in Apopka, Florida. World Sports Alumni, uniting all professional athletes globally. Whether you are a former or current professional athlete, a rising athlete, or a business, everyone has a reason to be a part of the World Sports Alumni. The WSA is the only professional athlete association in the world interconnecting all athletes from all sports together under one umbrella. Once again, that's WSA, World Sports Alumni. Go out, reach out to them at worldsportsalumni.com, uniting all professional athletes globally. All right, guys, we are back. Brandon's coming in right now. So, Brandon, I want to kick it back to, we talked about the safeties personnel, talked about James Williams should be starting, Bubba Bolden, Gervin Hall, you've seen enough, Cam Kitchens, get in the rotation. Why do you think, because Gervin Hall was offered by Alabama, Mark Pope was a 4-star, he was a 5-star by Rivals, DJ Ivy was a 4-star. Why do you think these guys just don't pan out? Do you think if they went to other programs, they would be better players?
Absolutely. The reason these guys ain't panning out, for one, it's a lot of players that's just better high school players than they are college players. But it's a lot of players who also great high school players, bad college players, and end up being great NFL players. So it's like a bunch of different things that you could look at. It's not just one. And I think the reason Hall is the way he is because of development. I think he's not getting developed right. I think they don't have the coaching staff haven't put enough energy into him to where he would be the next best thing coming out of there.
All right. We got some Q&A from some fans before we wrap it up on the show. Brandon's got BJ running around the back, man. So he's got.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good. You got to say your priorities. So let's take care of that real quick. How do you feel about the Miami coaches' development of players? It's a big difference compared to Rambo and our wide receivers.
I think our players are developed terribly because I just don't think the coaching staff putting enough into them. It's either the coaching staff don't know enough or the coaching staff can't put the defense around the players that should be growing enough to do it. Like for instance, Rambo looks good because he actually had a coach to teach him how to run routes. Like if you watch him running his routes, like he stacks, he know when to slow down, when to speed up. Like all that is taught. That's not just something you just do. That's something that's taught. It's a handful of players in America that could actually do that without being taught. So that's why Rambo looks so good, because he actually had a coach who actually put the time into them to where they actually know what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, another example of a transfer portal player that's better than the players we recruited from high school. So, and Charleston Rambo does have his own wide receivers coach on the side that he's known since 6th grade. So, do you guys think this is bigger than the coaches? It's really been a long time that we have been bad. I don't get that. What do you mean? It's been I think we've always been bad.
He said it's been a long time since we've been good, but he was trying yes and no.
Okay.
The reason I think it's bigger than the coaches is because I think once you keep getting bad coaches in, then that says something about the person who's hiring. So I wouldn't necessarily say Mark Richt was a bad coach though. So I can't say, everybody he brought in was a terrible coach. I can't say that. But the coaching staff makes everybody accountable for everything. So if you got a good coach, he make the AD accountable. He make the president accountable. Now, if you got a good president, he gonna make everybody else accountable. But the fact that we don't have a sports president means we need to put more into the coaching so that he could make the people who should be more accountable. Like if we had Nick Saban and we had the same coaching staff, we got the same AD and the president we had now, they would be more engaged with the football program than they are now. Because Nick Saban would put more into them doing stuff and making them more aware of what's going on, and they would have felt like they had to do it just because of who Nick Saban was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, Mark Richt, he was pushing for the indoor practice facility. Basically said, look, we have to do it. We're probably the last school in the ACC to have one. He came from the SEC. You got to have a head coach that can lay down the rules with your AD and enforce his vision upon his college football program. Brandon, I'm going to ask you a question before I let you go. Why do you think Ken Dorsey is the right guy at the University of Miami?
For one, I think Ken Dorsey is the right guy because Ken Dorsey will put the people around him to be successful. Ever since I met Ken Dorsey, he has never been an I guy. So he always been a team. He would do everything in his power to put Miami first. He wouldn't be looking to get famous off of this. He'd be looking to make Miami better. So, besides that, I think he would also, the reason I also think he would be a great guy is because look what he did with Cam Newton.
Right.
He made Cam Newton the MVP. He helped produce Cam Newton into being an MVP of the NFL. Then he went and did the same thing with
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen. So like his track record speaks for itself. Like I don't think you like certain people you ain't got to sell to me, and I think he's one of them.
All right, Ken Dorsey to the U, 2022, endorsed by Brandon Meriweather.
I agree. If we do that, I'm coming down, baby. I'll be there.
Hey, we got BJ committing soon. We got Brandon Meriweather coaching safeties. Ken Dorsey as our head coach. You gotta love man.
I'm there. They need to get Ed a shot.
Give Brandon Meriweather a shot, man. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We had 110 people joining us, 39 minutes in. We're going to be planning on doing this weekly. If you want any bookings with Brandon Meriweather, hit him up. Brandon, where can the good people find you?
You can find me at Facebook at Brandon Meriweather or on IG at Meriweather31. Either one, hit me up, man. I'm friendly sometimes.
Yeah. Hit Brandon Meriweather up and head on over to Wings. Gotta love it, guys. Take care.
All right, homie.
Go Canes.